unless you're living in there, you don't want to do that. There's 3 areas in your home that you want to start with first. And I want to ask you, what areas of your life would you like to experience more abundance in by creating a more harmonious space, okay? So the top 3 or 4 spaces that really take precedence over any other space in your home to begin to declutter is the kitchen, because we spend a lot of time in the kitchen, right? And then number 2 is your bedroom. And these aren't in any particular order right now. You have to put them as a priority for your own personal choices. For me, my number 1 is the bedroom. I make my bedroom, no matter what kind of space I'm living in, whether it's a 400 square foot space that I'm living in now, or a 3,000 square foot space that I was living in Sugarloaf Mountain. My bedroom is a sanctuary, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And then you have your community space where you all hang out. You know, where you hang out, or you hang out with your family, or when guests come over, you all hang out. And that could be a TV room. It could be like your living room space. These are the spaces that take top priority, because this is where you spend most of your space. And so this is where you can start. So I want to ask you right now, write down what your number 1 space is that you're going to declutter and make really beautiful first. And then ideally, that's what you do. And then you go to room 2. So we've got the kitchen, we've got the bedroom, we've got the community space, and then we do have the bathroom. And bathrooms are really important because that's the first thing that we walk into in the morning. And if it's cluttered and it doesn't feel good, you want to be able to get ready, put your face on, get your body ready. Whatever you do in the morning happens to happen in the bathroom. Why not have a beautiful space there? And so those are the 4 spaces that you can begin, okay? And so you may be asking, like, how and where do I begin? Well, I'm not going to get into all the details. I'll give you a few tips now where you can get started to make the decluttering process easy. And that is, let's take your bedroom, for example. And if you have clutter, some people have like an exercise bike. And that's the additional closet, right? They have a whole bunch of clothes hanging over it. They have a dresser, but you can't see the top of the dresser because there's too much junk there. And even on the floor, there's maybe some luggage and other things. I would say just go in and take out everything that you don't need in your bedroom and put it somewhere else. Put it out in the garage. You don't have to necessarily deal with it in that moment, but move it out. Move it out and move it somewhere else, right? Like in my bedroom, I have an altar. And if I don't have enough space, that altar may be on my dresser, where I have maybe a beautiful card or a prayer. I have candles. I have some of my feathers. I have the elements, all the 5 elements of chi for natural flow that I'll talk about in a minute. So start with one room and take out everything that doesn't belong in there and put it somewhere else, and maybe even in the garage, and then you can deal with that later, but at least you're getting your space free. And then when you look at that room again, after you've moved everything else out, look around again and say, look at some things that are in there and ask yourself, is this bringing me joy having this? You can look at, perhaps you have a clock on your wall in the bedroom. I would recommend that you remove the clock, because in the bedroom is a place for relaxing. It's for restoration. You don't want to have to be bothered by the clock. But then look at the art. When you lay down on your bed, is it something that brings you peace and is very soothing to you? So look around the room and ask yourself, does this bring me joy or not? Is this a hell yes, that I love this, it makes me feel so good? And if it's not, move it out. Don't think twice about it. Just yay or nay, right? Okay, and do that with every room that you go into. So whatever subsequent room after your bedroom, whether it's the kitchen or the community living space or the bathroom, this is how you can begin the clutter process. Closets are really important, and I'll go into that in a detailed when I make a podcast on clutter and feng shui. But we don't have to go there right now, because as long as you have a door on the closet, let's create a beautiful open space that you can see, and you can deal with the closet later, right? So those are my tips on beginning to declutter. once you declutter all your rooms, that's when I would begin feng shui. Now you can do it two ways. You can declutter your priority room, and then you can begin to feng shui that room. And then you can go to the other one. So whatever works for you, whatever feels good. It depends on how long it's going to take you. If it's going to take you 6 months to declutter your 4 rooms, I would definitely go in for the feng shui. So here's the thing about feng shui. Feng shui is really about bringing everything in life into balance, into alignment, and into harmony. Now, just saying those 2 words, balance, 3 words, alignment, harmony, how does that feel for you? How does that feel in your body when you say it? Just say it out loud. Balance, harmony, alignment, flow. I imagine that feels good. It does feel good for me. And so that's what feng shui is really all about. And there are professionals that do this. So if you don't feel like studying it or learning it or doing anything about it, then you can actually do some basics. I'll give you some basic tips that you can bring into your room. But it goes as detailed as which way your bed faces and how it aligns with the linear alignment of the geography and everything else. So it's kind of cool, but it's all about the chi. And so what we want to have in every room in our house are the 5 elements of chi that create balance, alignment, and flow. And you don't want to have more of one than the other. And it cracks me up because my daughter would look at my altar and she goes, "Mom, you're all air. You're all air. You have all these feathers everywhere." And it's like, yeah, but I like feathers and they're messages because I find them along my journey and on paths and everything. And they're actually messages from my mom and my sister Shannon. They leave me feathers. So I pick them up. I have a beautiful feather jar at my father's. But so anyway, you want balance though. And here are the 5 elements. And if someone wants to drop them into the chat flow, that would be great. And if you want to write them down for yourself, this is a great place to start. So you can have all of these elements in your home. Water, fire, wood, something from the earth, and metal. So these are the 5 elements to help create chi and flow in your home, okay? And it helps create balance in your home. So if you want chi and you want to feel grounded and you want to feel balanced and you want to feel flowing and you want to feel positive, these are the things that you can do to reduce the clutter and actually to bring some feng shui. So here's another question you can ask yourself that I asked earlier is like, there's certain areas of our life that we have a desire to improve, tap into, explore, or expand. And these areas can be anything from having more power, having more wealth, having more abundance, having more love, having more creativity, creating more wisdom, creating more harmony, travel, family, vitality, all of these things. Write these things down. Write the areas of your life that you would like to explore to have more abundance. And you can do that by creating a more harmonious space. Because, listen up, when we have a more harmonious space, we don't have clutter around us to feel overwhelmed. We don't have clutter around us to distract us, especially if we have a type A personality, like I tend to do, but I manage it pretty well. It's like, oh, look at that shiny object. You don't want to have to deal with that because anytime you get distracted and you lose your focus from whatever it is that you're working on, whether it's a telephone conversation, a paper that you're writing, a work project, whatever, every time you lose your focus, you're losing about 10 minutes because when you get back to it, you have to resettle, refocus, and realign yourself, and that's wasting time. So what you really want to do is stay focused, right? And the best way that you can do that is to have a beautiful space that's peaceful, that's organized, that's decluttered, and that's ideally feng shui, right? So remember, the front door is the first place to start with decluttering and creating a feng shui space. And plants bring beautiful energy into the home. They are something that comes from earth. Plants come from earth, right? Fire, those are candles. wood. That could be furniture. Stay away from sharp angles and even glass that creates reflections. Go with wood, go with metal, solid forces, and then water. A water fountain. Have a beautiful vase filled with water and flowers. So there's a lot of things that you can do, but having a welcoming front door where you not only feel welcome to your home when you go in, but you feel at peace and at harmony. You just want to stop and pause and look at the flowers. So that's what I have for you guys tonight, and I hope this was really helpful. If we haven't met yet, I want to introduce myself. My name is Shelly Marenka, and I am the founder and owner of Inspired Living with Shelly Marenka, and the founder of this page called Women Wanting More. If you are watching this for the first time, I want to welcome you and say, hey, that it's really great that you're here. I'm honored that you're here. It's really fun being here on this platform for you to share about how you can live an inspired life. And if you are liking this group page and you want to invite your friends, then I encourage you, let's invite your friends. I'm going to tap into the comments right now and see if there are some questions that I can answer for you guys. Why does it say 16 comments, but yet I can't see them? That's so weird. I'm going to refresh for a second, because I know, Michelle, you made some comments. Debbie, thank you. You're welcome. And Patrice, it's great to see you in the house. I haven't seen you in a while. I know someone came on here and said that, this is so weird, my computer's not cooperating. He said it was their first time. And so I want to welcome you. And Michelle's commented, you don't buy anything new. It's about simplifying, arranging, and balance. And last is the bathroom. Sure, the last is the bathroom for you, and it is about energy flow. And, I would say that when you're decluttering, yes, you don't want to bring in stuff that bring in more clutter. But the thing is if you don't have some of these elements that I mentioned to create positive energy and chi in your house, it's okay to go out and buy a plant. It's okay to go out and buy a beautiful vase. But here's the thing that I put into practice a while ago is that when I bring something into the home, for example, a vase, I'm going to take a vase out of the home. I'm going to do that first and give myself permission to go buy a new one. So I'm moving the chi and blessing someone else with something that I don't particularly need, but maybe I want something fresh. Take a piece of art and give it away or bless somebody else with it before you bring a new piece of art in. And so these are the kind of ideas that, you can work with. And does anyone else have any questions or comments right now? It's strange that I can't see them right now on my computer. But I will go after the session is over, which is pretty much now, and I'll go back and I'll answer any questions that you have in the comments below. So again, it's great to see you here. I am going to come back every Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. So mark your calendars, set your phone. If you have a fun topic, an interesting topic, whatever kind of topic that you would like me to talk about, drop it in the comments below under these Wednesday night lives, and I'll see what I can do about that. And I do want to tell you, there is some updates here. Many of you know that the 7-day cleanse is about to be happening. We're going to do it on Monday. And if you are looking to optimize your health, all I want to say is go to the events page in Women Wanting More. I created an events page that's got the 7-day cleanse. You can read all about it. It's not too late to join. I'd love to have you. You're going to get free coaching for the whole 7 days. We're going to start Monday. If you have any questions, just tag me. But go into the event page. You can learn about that. And I had one other piece of news for you, and I can't recall what it is right now. But anyway, it's great being here with you. I love you guys all. I'm honored to be in your presence. And as always, love yourself more. Ciao for now, and have a wonderful evening, my friends.